Hey folks, this is Dr. Zero, and this video is going to be about the game Raft, a crafting survival game. Most of the videos done on this are about making gigantic bases, and they kind of leave out all of the tips, tricks, like how the game works, how's crafting work, how the resources and all those. How does the game work? They go over it, but they don't really specialize on it. So this is kind of just about that. It's kind of my first video talking a lot. I'm trying to get more into YouTube videos, so if you have any feedback on my mic or anything like that, please let me know. Okay, so the number one thing in the game has to do with how you get resources, okay? So how do you get the resources? Well, it's from the debris field, alright? See that bad boy? That's the debris field. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead, because right now I just wanted to show you a shot that's in-game. That's the actual in-game tower. That's the boat. Oh, this pesky seagull. Take that, buddy. Yeah, so I just wanted to see the base, the way it looks like in its maximum efficiency first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back and forth on why I have it laid out like this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut past this cool looking thing, which is in-game. And I'm going to show you about how the boat moves forward, the debris field, and all that good stuff. Alright, here we go. Okay, we kind of moved past that, and now we're just sitting here floating along. Alright, so this is a crafting game. It's all about resource management, that kind of thing. So the most important aspect of the game is the resources. How do you get them? If you know exactly the mechanics of it, it can make the game a lot easier. So in this game, you're basically floating along, and it's going to create a debris field. And whatever direction you go in, for even a few seconds, it's going to start generating a debris field. I'm going to show you, I'm going to change direction, and it's going to start, I'm going to go that way, and it's going to start generating a debris field. But you can see it starts to go right about there. It starts to generate it, and this is what, since I'm all about like complete efficiency at collecting them, I basically made my raft the exact distance of the debris field. So literally every single resource, as far as the floating debris that the game's generating, I'm collecting all of it. And you can see how far it is. I can count it, but I'm going to do that later, maybe in an edit. Alright. It's pretty far. Alright. So I've got the collection nets all along the front. Now you're like, why don't I have the ones on the side? Well, I'm going to show you in a little bit. That's Raft. Get back up here so you can see how fast it generates a new debris field now that we're moving to the right. And you can see right over there, it stopped making it. I changed for even a little direction, and it started producing it right there, see? And now we're going this way. And you'll start seeing, since we're still floating forward, right? So we're not going directly this way. So it's kind of producing an angle now, see? Instead of coming straight in, now it's coming in from this way. So let's go ahead and just stop it. And turn that on. So I don't have them all along the sides because mostly I'm just going forward. And the reason is because you cannot change direction as far as rotation. The music, let me turn that down. There we go. The game does not allow you to rotate the boat, okay? There's only one way to do it, and that's either to, see that raft over there? From the center of your boat, if you wanted to go left and rotate it that way, you'd have to have debris hit here on this side, and it would make the boat go that way. Vice versa. Oh, Larry. I call the shark Larry. Get out of here. So I've seen a lot of videos where people have their sail and their anchor and all this stuff near the back in convoluted places that make it hard to navigate. Well, the weather vane, it's going to show you your direction in the debris field. Like if you take your sail and put it up, what direction will you go in? And you want this to be near the front of your boat, and you want it to be pretty much the way I got it. Can't get it 100%, but I got it pretty straight. You want it to be going forward like this, right? And then right after that, you want your sail right here. So if you need to, you can change direction very quickly. And then right behind that, what do you want? You want your anchor. So let's say I'm going by an island. I don't want to hit the island, but I want to be closer. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to look and line it up, right, like that. And I'm going to run back over here. And if I need to get closer, I'll turn my boat. Bam. I'll go toward it a little bit. Stop it, and then bam, I would set anchor, and I'd be right beside it. But the absolute last thing I want is to touch it. I don't want to change my direction as far as the debris field. I want my boat to be going straight, since I've got my resource collection set up perfectly. Now, I'm going to be skipping ahead to a couple things. We'll probably edit it out. Alright, so notice right here I've got these guys. That's so I can get onto islands without touching them and still be high enough to get onto them. And the end game's got some buildings that are really high up, so it makes it a lot easier right there. So again, my boat's not made for being pretty. It is made for efficiency. So over here, so let's start over here. We got our smelters, right? These are how you take certain resources and change them into more refined resources. And about 5 of them I found was perfect. I mean, I could do it for the amount of things that you can get from an island or anything. This will go through them in short work. And then over here, I've got my storage. And if you lay a wall, like one there and then one there, you can fit perfectly 6. And then I've got them labeled. And over here, I've got plants. Now keep in mind that this is set up for just one person playing, so harvesting plants and stuff like that might change with more people. But for me, I don't actually use the potatoes. I use them to lure in seagulls, which I shoot with an arrow. And you can recover almost all of your arrows too, so it's a pretty efficient way of getting food. And I have this many just in case I'm doing something. He might eat all of these, but he's not going to eat all of it. And I can replant them very quickly. And even if you are planting these for food, the potato is probably the better way to go. All the other plants are kind of, they take the larger crop pots, and they don't really give you much more. Like watermelon produces a lot of water, but once you've got still, geez, this thing produces so much water. I need a drink, so I can show you how much I can get out of it. And so I have it over here so you can see how easy it was for me to just simply bam, bam, bam. And you want to get the bottles. You get a cup is one of the things you use to get water, and then you can get a bottle once you get the seaweed, make it into goo. You process it through the smelters, and you make these bottles. Now I have one that I always have. I have these two like on my easy access menu right here. You got your other menu that's got stuff in storage, and you got stuff that you have direct access to. I have these two set up all the time. One on the right, you can see in the bottom, it has blue on it, so that's drinkable water. The one on the left is greenish. That's your seawater. So I just always have those, so it makes it super easy. And then over here, I've got grills. Got 2 of them. Lots of shark meat. Yummy. Shark meat gives you the most amount of food at once. And you can look in here, I got other different things. Got a lot of shark meat. These little guys, little fish, they give you about as much as the seagulls. Damn it. And then you've got these fish, which are used to make bait. Certain fish, like the pomfret and the herring, I save those just for making bait. One thing to know about... Oh, Larry. Yeah, whenever he attacks, you want to immediately repair it. There we go. One thing I learned about the cookers is that the food that's once it's cooked on there, you can store it pretty much indefinitely. I've gone 2 days and just left it on there to see it, and they won't like despawn or anything. You can leave them on there. Also, another cool thing, I can place a raw one on there with the cooked one, and it doesn't like destroy the cooked stuff. They'll be just fine. Something to know. So you can have cooked and raw and do it at the same time. Won't matter. But again, it's a good way to store food if you don't have like all the space you need. Alright, let's go back up here. And it's kind of the in-game thing with the receiver. It only has to be one level up. It'll say it's too low. So if you try to set them up on the base there, you've got to be a level up. And then you've got to set the antennas. You need 3 of them. And they've got to be a certain distance away from it, which will show you it's too close or to the receiver or something like that. Then I've got my my hammock, which is better than look in here. Now, where is that bad boy? There it is. You got the simple bed. It gives you allows you to respawn. And then you've got the hammock. You basically make it through the night or respawn with more health. So let's say you want to get through the nighttime, like I'm tired of the nighttime. I'm gonna lie on that bad boy. And now it's daytime. And it's whenever you do that, it's gonna take a little bit of water, a little bit of food, because you're sleeping through the night. But with the hammock, it takes less. Go ahead and get a bunch of these, so I don't have to worry about it. And then you've got your research table over here. There's not a lot of stuff to research in this game. It's a pretty early game as far as how old it is. I think the dev crew's not many people. They made a great game, but there's still a lot to like development. As far as like the crafting, it's pretty simple. You're gonna move through the entire like inventory tree, like research tree, pretty quick in this game. Hopefully they're gonna release more. They seem to be. The game's pretty successful, and I'm guessing they made a lot of money, so they're gonna be able to develop more stuff. But yeah, that's what that's for. Bam, bam. And that's pretty much it. So now we can see there's an island coming over here, and I'll do a quick, this is how we're going to get to it. And after that, what I'm going to do is we're going to start from the beginning. And, like, what I'm going to do, what I would do from, like, day 1. Alright? Right now I'm at day 48, and I'm at this layer. And when you skip, that counts as a day, but I've skipped only maybe about 6 or 7 days. So it's about 40 days, and I have to get online and see how long a day is in actual hours. But I'm going to get a timer. And when I start, I'm going to tell you exactly how long, how many minutes to hours it's taking me to do this stuff. And oh, here's the shark head. When you kill a shark, you get a head, and you can put a plaque on there. So I put Dr. Zero. Alrighty. So we're coming up on this island. Again, I don't want to touch it, but I want to get close to it. Well, we're going to start shifting out. That's about good, because I have to account for the time it's going to take me to run back over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it the opposite way. In case I'm too close. Which, I'm definitely too close. It's not bad, but I'm just going to go a little bit farther. And then we're going to... Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to day 1 of the game and start from scratch. And we're going to go through a lot of different tips and tricks on how to stop... Oh, here's a seagull. Basically, this is my seagull farm. And a cool thing is you can recover the stone arrows, at least most of them. It'll let me. Can't always get them. There we go. And you get the seagull, and you get feathers. Oh, Larry. Get out of here. Fix that up. Oh, yeah, by the way, these are all armored. You see the little metal. Normally that wouldn't be on there, but you can armor the, right here, you can armor it. Foundation armor. That takes metal ingots and nails, so it takes a lot of stuff to do it. And I've done everything. I've done the entire exterior. And every now and then the shark will attack the middle. So what I've done is key gear. That'll show you. Right now I don't have the resources, that's why it's showing it red. But it would be green if I had, you know, the ingot and the nail. But I've gone under this. Anything important I've already reinforced, so he can't like somehow bite underneath it if I wasn't paying attention. Which, once I show you my strategies for how to completely gut an island, you realize killing the shark is a main part of that strategy, and it's way easier than you think. Alright, well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and cut to day 1. Right from the second, let me start my timer so I can tell you exactly how long I'm actually in the game. Because there's no way in the game, it doesn't say that, it doesn't tell you how long you've actually been playing. Alright, so what we're going to do is start collecting stuff. That's your grappling hook. Use that to get stuff, and you can see I have literally nothing other than this one thing. And the barrels are definitely your target number 1. Definitely want to get them first. And yep, there's Larry. You have a certain distance which you can throw. And usually if you throw ahead of it and pull back, you can get it. Nope, missed it. And depending on how long you hold the button, you can throw it a longer or shorter distance. And right off the bat, let's see, bam, make rope, craft. One of the first tools I want is a wooden spear. So I need planks, 8 planks and 3 rope. That's definitely the first thing I want, because Larry is going to be making my world terrible. And then I also want the building hammer, which takes rope and a plank. So I'll probably go with the building hammer first, because I can make more planks before he can eat them all. Because even with the spear, I might not be able to save the raft. At least that little square. So there's going to be a lot of grinding, and I'm going to be cutting away. A lot. A lot of crafting survival games, you can break it into early, mid, and end game. And then each one of those parts, you can break it into early, mid, and end. And basically, as I progress, I'm going to be going through that. I'm like early game, which I'm in now, barely surviving, and then early mid game, which when I start to be able to make my own food and water, that kind of takes me into the early mid game. And then early end game is when I have an anchor and storage. And after that, it's about getting the sail and the smelting. Now, that gives me control of my craft, and then I can take more complex, or I can get resources from the islands and make them into more complex resources, which I can then make more complex items. So we're just going to grind away for a while. And blah, blah, blah. All we're going to do here is just collect crap as efficiently as we can. And every time you use your hook, you can see on the bottom left, every time I actually get, not every time I throw it, but every time I actually get something, it takes a little bit of health. So you have to take that into account in the early part. You have to plan to make a new hook. And then also, when you throw it really far, you can get multiple items at once. I haven't played the early part in a while, forgot how tricky it can be. See, do I have enough resources to make a spear? Let's craft a rope. Bam, 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 bam. And can I make a spear? Bam, wooden spear. Definitely need that. And And then I can also make a building hammer. So I've got one of my mouse buttons. I got lots of mouse buttons on my mouse. And I'm going to put the things I need the quickest access to on the far left side. Put my spear. I want to be able to get to that fast. And then I want to put this here because I just memorized it as such. Yeah, I got 2 at once. If you saw like multiple items, you could throw it far, and if you saw other items coming down the line, you could like hold it, and it would get you another one. It might be a little too far. Alright, so I've got a spear, and I've got the crafting hammer, which makes life a lot easier. Just gonna keep on getting items, and then I'm gonna be looking at my water. And there's not a lot I can do about water until I can build. Basically, it's a small still, essentially. Need palm leaves and I believe. No, he's coming in. Get off of that. And the regular spear can it takes 4 hits. Once you get the steel one, it takes less hits. Repair that. It takes less to repair than to build new, but we're also gonna make a little bit more of my raft, because I can. I want to use too many, but there we go. Because I need to build another hook here. Super important. Coming up on an island. And that's probably going to be my last thing on this hook. Let's see if I can make another one. Yep. I'll go ahead and make another one already. This here. Start moving these items I'm not going to be using very often up here. And the thing about your first island is, well, you can't stop your boat. Yep. Over here. Put you up there. Put you there. But you can jump down and get some stuff, and the stuff you want to get first are stones. And just keep in mind that you can take a couple hits from the shark. You can take 3. He's going to come get me soon. Sometimes it's kind of random how often he's going to come and get me. And I want to get back up, see where we're at. Yep, see, it didn't stop for very long, so I want to get back up there. Probably not going to be able to get much off here. I'm still swimming. I can make it over there fast enough. I can probably get another rock. Yeah, that's about as far as I want it to go. And you don't need to use a collection hook if stuff's right next to you to collect stuff. Bam. Just collect it, and then you gotta jump back. And a lot of crafting games will change how stuff happens based on what you've crafted. Since I don't have a sail yet, a lot of the items are going to be directly in front of me. Once I get the sail, they're not going to generate in front of me anymore. Though, not as often. You'll have to move to them. But right now, the game knows I have no chance of possibly moving to an island, so it's going to put them right in front of me. It's a little hectic, the early part, so I might sound a little discombobulated in what I'm saying. I'm trying to concentrate on a lot of stuff at once. So we got to turn around, but we're going to make another one there, another one there. Juicy barrel. Plastic, another juicy barrel. Yeah, the barrels are definitely... It's going to keep you alive. And then, alright, I'm running low on water, but I can eat these, but they don't give me very much until I cook them. So that's a bummer. And let's look at what I need to make. What I want first is that, and I need more plastic. So I need, now it'll get me, once I get water going, game will be a lot easier. Well, will be easier. Just won't be so frightening. Nope, he got me. One thing to keep in mind is your health goes up pretty quick, so it's not that big a deal. Nope. And if stuff goes too far back, don't worry about it too much. Alright, so, let's go ahead and make this bad boy. Right here. And go ahead and make another one of these. Alright, always planning ahead on the condition of your instruments, so always need a spear to fight off old Larry. And then always need the thing that gets me my resources. Alright, so one of the most important things in the game as far as what resources do you use the most? And wood, the planks, are definitely the most important thing to get. Like, to make more water, I need wood. Alright, so I need a cup. Do I have the plastic? Nope, I don't have the plastic. Pretty useless without being able to put water into it, so I need plastic next. Some more plastic over there. Oh. And he got me again. Larry. Not too bad, but we're getting pretty close to basically dehydrating, which you'll start moving extremely slow when that happens. So we definitely want to get on that. Got a cup, bam, can craft it. Alright, so we're gonna go to the water, hit C, and then we're gonna go up to this, put the water in there, and then I gotta put planks in there, which I've got 4. That's... Once I'm able to cook food, then I'm going from early game to early mid-game. The ability to make your own stuff takes you out of the danger I'm gonna die to. I can survive now. Out of here. And again, repairing takes less than replacing. See, I only need couple of planks to do that. To actually get a new one, I need plastic and planks, and it takes way more. So I'm also getting a little low on my my grappling hook, so I need to think about making a new one of those. Probably get like 3 or 4 more out of it. That's rope, I believe. Alright, we got some water, so what we're going to do is go over here, fill with fresh water, and then bam, drink it. We're going to go ahead and get some more. Put it in there. Bam, got enough for that. Good. Just keep on going. Oh, Larry. I just call the shark Larry. There's no real reason. Call a lot of animals or inanimate objects Larry all the time. I need to make a simple grill, so I need a rope. Rope. Got a crap load of palm leaves. Alrighty. There. There. And now I can make that bad boy. Simple grill. Bam. Done. Put him right there. And we're also going to so the shark won't take these very important things away from me. And we need to cook something, so go ahead and get this potato. Need plank. Bam, got potato working. Let's go ahead and get some of that water. More. Drink it. Go. Planks, so I got 4. Again, planks are definitely high priority. Next to the barrel. The barrel is number one. The barrels, you get complex stuff. It's kind of randomly generated. You get scrap, you get stone, you get randomly rope. Sometimes you'll get more complicated things like hinges, nails. I've even gotten iron ore in it. So that can just kind of be a lucky thing where you get something really important right in the early game without getting onto a raft or an island. And now the sea is getting choppy. Grappling hook's okay. I'll go ahead and let's get that potato. Get another one on there. Get that potato. There we go. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut it there. I don't want to make these videos too long. There's tons of people making videos about making gigantic rafts, and they're like in real time. I'm not trying to do that. This is a tips, tricks, and strategies, so trying to get you information and not just every single thing I'm doing. So the beginning of, that video, I showed you the end goal, which is this boat, and then why I'm making it like that. And then we went to the first second of the game, and I'm showing you strategies, basic strategies for survival. And then we went from early game, which is barely surviving, to the early mid game, which you're able to make food and water. And then you saw me get my first bit of food. So we're just going to go ahead and cut it there, and we'll see it in part 2, which will be up shortly. Alright, folks, take it easy. This is Dr. Zero signing off. Have a good one. Juice barrel. And